Right now to learn more.
800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. That's 800-649-0142.
Listen, you can't handle the truth.
It's about to go off. Live from the WNSR Strike and Spare Studios.
Just a bit outside.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Show me the money!
Call or text now. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Call us or send us a text on the WNSR text line. 615-844-5600. 615-844-5600. Call or text. Same number.
Alrighty then.
Now, the McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
And a good Tuesday afternoon to you. And yes, it is time for the McFarland Show. Darren McFarland, one half of the show here in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. DJ Damon is alongside in his UT Orange. No Justin today, so he is still away from the show. He'll be back sometime this week. Just be patient with us. He'll be back. He wants to be back. Trust me. He wants to be on the show. Got a lot of things to get into. Terry McCormick is going to be making his way back. In fact, we're going to have Indianapolis twice. Of course, the Titans spoke today. Brian Callahan, we're going to hear from head coach Brian Callahan in just a moment. Some things that he set up at the Combine. General Manager Rand Carthon spoke at the Combine today. The players will get cranked up in their positions on Thursday and Friday, Saturday. It's all through the weekend. It's a little bit different, and it's interesting. I'm going to bring it up to Terry McCormick at about 2:20. He was there today. John Burton from JB and the General, he was also at the Combine for News Channel 5. You'll see his Combine footage tonight on television. He'll join us in the second hour to talk about what he saw. But I do wonder if these guys experience, and I'll ask them, any buzz of, there's a lot of players that were like, hey, it's kind of starting to feel like the players that don't get it, teams that don't get into the playoffs and they just go to a bowl game and their good players say, peace out. I'm done. Now you've got the Big 12 Conference doing their own Combine. You've got individual days at your school. A lot of guys are like, yeah, I'm not doing anything. Or I'll just be there for the interviews, but I'm not running. I'm not throwing. I'm not doing any of that stuff. And so I do wonder, what does that mean for the Combine moving forward? Is this kind of a trend where players are just going to wait on their conference day or just their individual day? Because that's on their turf. The Indianapolis and the Combine is not their turf. That's neutral turf. And so you can set it up in a more conducive way to help advantage you, the player, at your own place. So I don't know. They may surprise me with their answers, but we'll find out here shortly. Like I said, we'll talk to both of them today because they were both there today. And look, free agency is just around the corner. March is just around the corner, and before you know it, the draft is going to be upon us. Let's hear a little bit of what new head coach Brian Callahan had to say today in Indianapolis.
I'll say this: you can never replace elite talent. You can coach guys. Coaching makes an impact. It matters, but ultimately, the better players you have, the better coach you are. And so, I will never pass up on elite talent just because I think we have a great coach. Great coaches with elite talent is special, and so we're trying to get to that point. But I will say there is times when you can take players though as in roles that maybe not necessarily at the top of the draft or for top dollar in free agency, but where you can develop players quickly and they can contribute for you. Because as we all know, you're going to have multiple sets of players playing up front. Very rarely do you stay with the same five for the course of a season. So that development and that depth is always going to be really important. and there's nobody better at developing it than him.
I can't agree with Brian Callahan anymore. And I know that sounds very simplistic what he said, but it is so true. Because how many times have you heard people arguing, so-and-so was a great coach? Yeah, but he had the best talent. Or yeah, but he had Shaq and Kobe. Or yeah, but he had Jordan and Pippen. Well, that's how it works. That's how it works. Like, yes, I think you need a combination of both. But you saw Bill Belichick whenever the roster wasn't as talented as it was for, almost 2 decades? And I get it. Tom Brady is right now the best ever to do it. And he was at the most important position. But Bill Belichick, the next 3 years after Tom Brady left, and the roster just kept getting weaker and weaker, looked very, very average. Do you think Bill Belichick can coach? Do you just think he got dumb overnight? Do you think he just lost his coaching abilities? No, you have to have players. Greg Popovich did it for a long time with the Spurs. He's still the Spurs head coach, and he did a lot of winning for a long time. And then all those good players went away. Do you think he forgot how to coach? You think he's not a good coach anymore? Or do you think if you filled up his roster with really, really talented players again, all of a sudden Greg Popovich will be right back at where we saw him for a long, long time? That's how it works. And Brian Callahan is smart to say that because it's true. And by the way, I can appreciate a coach because I'm one of them. I said, I've been at this youth sports. You've heard me talking about coaching youth sports for 5 years now. There's no doubt my most successful seasons is one of my most talented teams. It's no secret. Talent wins. And they need more special players. We know this roster is just, and Mike Vrabel can certainly attest to this, it is just not even close to where it needs to be. They are void of a lot of elite players, and you need elite players to be successful. Damon, do we have another Callahan clip? All right, let's hear.
We have him talking about the special teams coordinator, Mr. Colt Anderson.
Okay, one of his last hires. Let's find out what the head coach had to say.
Is a really young, kind of dynamic special teams coach. Be his first time running the room, but doesn't lack experience. Played for 8 years in the league. He's a fantastic person. Love having him in the building. Obviously, he's one of the few guys that I've worked with for the last couple of years out of Cincinnati, so that part's been great. But really, really sharp, experienced in the special teams world. And then you add him with Anthony Levine. Those two guys battled against each other quite a bit as players, and so there's a mutual respect there. It's been kind of fun to hear them talk about their battles, but really excited about Colt's addition to our staff.
There you go. Again, we've talked about it before on this show. You don't realize how important special teams is till you stink at it. The Titans have been very good at special teams in several years. And so we'll see if that can change with a brand new staff. Hopefully it will, because their special teams was a real issue under Mike Vrabel. Remember when they just stopped kicking field goals? They just gave up on kicking field goals. Special teams was not their friend over the years under Mike Vrabel. Just wasn't. Hopefully that will change. Damon, what else do we have?
We have this drop, and I'm trying to queue up, so keep talking.
Okay. This is where we stall.
Okay. He says he enjoyed having an opportunity to work with this guy. This is Coach Brian Callahan talking about Bill Callahan.
His papa.
How about that? Let's do it.
Early on in my career, when I was first starting out, he had made a very pointed emphasis that I should try my own way and not work for him. He never wanted to be one to give me a job. He felt like it would serve me better if I had went my own direction and earned my way through it. I think that was the best advice he's probably given me. It's worked out great that way. I've always wanted to work with him. Never knew if I'd have an opportunity, to be honest. It's one of those things when you got guys under contract and we're in different places. Never knew if it was going to work. And we had a conversation really the year previous when I was interviewing for a couple of jobs, and he had said that we wouldn't work together, that he was very happy where he was at and didn't really want to leave and felt like I should do that on my own. But it just timed up great. It's kind of where he's at in his career. The opportunity to have him come to Tennessee is really, the timing was perfect. I didn't really know if he wanted to come or not until I got the job, because I was kind of working off the assumption that he was that way last year, where he wasn't interested. So, but thrilled to have him and be able to work with him every day.
Crazy, but I'm just going to go on and say it. There's pressure on Bill Callahan. You're like, what? Yeah, because everybody's viewing him as the savior. He's got to come in here and fix this offensive line. And he is viewed by many around the league as one of the best offensive line coaches, if not the best in the league. And so there's a lot of pressure for Papa, Bill Callahan, of head coach Brian's son, to come in here and fix this, which is why, and I'm going to bring this up with Terry and John today on the show. I know it's just, what is today? As February winds down. Today is, Damon, is the 27th. So this is leap year. Yes. So we've got 2 more days, tomorrow and Thursday, and then we start off Friday in March.
You know, it was kind of interesting you said that, because I was looking at the calendar and I'm like, the 29th, wait a minute, I thought Thursday was the first, so I had to kind of readjust my mind, but it is leap year. It is leap year. Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
And so
I think you're going to like this one coming up.
There is, and I again, on February 27th, this is not set in stone. This is not locked in. It's in pencil. But I am starting to convince myself.
Crayons now.
Crayon? My son's 12 now.
Okay.
I used this reference a couple years
ago.
Been
around kids a lot.
In elementary. I may have still used crayon. So now I'm using pencil, not pen. But I'm thoroughly convinced, or I'm convincing myself.
Number 2 pencil, too, by the way.
Number 2. Well, is there another?
No.
Yeah, okay. That they have to take a left tackle at 7. They just do. And I know they have a lot of needs. But again, it gets back to, okay, you've brought in Bill Callahan, who is viewed as one of the best, if not the best, offensive line coach in the league. People are really excited for good reason. Offensive line play the last 2 years have been awful. I'm convinced with a young quarterback that everybody's still trying to figure out, is he the guy or not? You got to give him every opportunity to be the guy. I mean, Will Levis is the guy, but I mean, is he going to pan out to be the guy? Like, it's his team, but is he going to ultimately be good enough? They need a left tackle.
They definitely do need a left tackle. And I
know they need a left tackle, but I'm saying, Damon, I think now to get that premier guy that they've had in the past, where did they always draft those guys?
Mm-hmm.
First round.
And then he made a comment, I think, about where, what's the guy's, what's it? I don't know how to pronounce the name. The guy you're talking about.
Skoronski?
Skoronski, yeah. That he was definitely a right tackle. I think that's what he said in the press conference this morning. I heard some of that.
No.
He's a tackle. I know that much, right?
Well, I mean, I thought they were going to keep him at left guard.
Yeah, okay. Maybe it's
so.
Okay.
I think that would also help his development, too. Think about if you could have basically your left tackle and your left guard grow up in the NFL together, right? Because Skoronski's just got 1 year in. Mm-hmm. If you draft your left tackle for the future, you are hoping that that's your lockdown situation for the next decade, right?
Right.
Which is what everybody's looking for in the league. And so if you're going to draft Skoronski 11th overall and you're going to possibly draft your left tackle 7th overall, you got to hit. These are guys that got to be here for a long time, and they've got to solidify the left side of your line for a very long time, especially with a coach like Bill Callahan. So, again, I am at the point, it's not set in stone yet, but every day it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. I'm thinking, it doesn't matter the temptation. I get it. Even if Marvin Harrison Jr. was to fall, which he won't, but even if he did, I still think you got to take the left tackle over the receiver.
Yeah, because you can't do anything if you're getting tackled every 5
seconds. It doesn't
seconds.
matter how good your wide receivers are, right?
That's the problem.
If your quarterback is on his back at all times.
You got DeAndre Hopkins can't catch a pass because your quarterback's on his butt.
Yeah.
most of the time.
Yeah.
You ready for another one?
Let's squeeze one more in, then we'll get to Terry on his way back from the combine.
I just thought you might like this one because
Okay.
it has your favorite word in it, collaboration.
Oh, boy.
Brian Callahan on his collaboration with Rand Carthon. I don't know why I can't pronounce it, but anyway, I had English class. It's last on my list. But anyway, with Rand Carthon. Here he goes.
Rand's a relationship builder. It's kind of his superpower, I like to say. But us being on the same page, if you're on the same page with the front office and the coaching staff, you can really do a great job finding the right people and right players to fit your team when everyone's looking for the same thing. And so that part's been really fun. I enjoy being around Rand every day, and Chad Brinker too. Those between me, Rand, Chad, and Anthony Robinson, we probably are in and out of each other's office probably 10, 12 times a day. I mean, we're always talking, going back and forth. But it's been a really, really fun partnership to build, a relationship to start to grow with, and it's been a blast.
There you go. Yeah, my favorite word. Well, great. I'm super glad that the brand new head coach and the first year GM are getting along. It's good to know. I can't imagine there'd be friction this early on. It would be kind of silly and a disaster if there was. So it's good to know that the head coach and the GM are getting along just fine. All right, let's do this. Let's come back. Terry McCormick was up there today. He's on his way coming back from Indianapolis. Let's get his impressions of what took place today, and we will do that next here on the McFarland Show, WNSR.
When was the last time you did something fun with family, friends, coworkers, and clients? What if I told you about a place under one roof that offers affordable entertainment for all ages? That's what you'll find at Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers in Donaldson, Hermitage, Tusculum, Hendersonville, and Murfreesboro, with bowling, games, food, drink, and entertainment for all ages. Enjoy an enhanced experience in Hendersonville or Murfreesboro, where they feature additional fun with bumper cars, laser tag, roller skating, and more. All locations are open 7 days a week, including holidays. Visit online at strikeandspare.com. Strike and Spare, where fun is bowling.
As the weather gets colder, the NFL offers Stay Hot on FanDuel. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. I like putting parlay bets together, hammering the overs, and anytime player touchdown bets always have me on the edge of my seat. So if you're ready to do the same, visit FanDuel.com/win and kick off the NFL season. That's FanDuel.com/win. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
21 plus and present in Kentucky. First online real money wager, only $5 pregame money line wager required. First online real money wager, only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
We all make resolutions this time of year, and let's face it, most of them won't stick. But here's one that's not only easy to keep, but'll help you feel healthier all year long. Navage. Navage provides quick, drug-free nasal relief by washing saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril. This time of year, when everyone is sick, Navage helps by sucking out germs, bacteria, and viruses trapped in our noses that cause us to feel miserable. And come allergy season, it does the same with dust, pollen, and other allergens. And unlike medications that can take time to help, if they're effective at all, Navage helps treat congestion symptoms in seconds flat, without drugs. This New Year's, resolve to use drug-free Navage to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier all year long. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Buyandtow.com. Get cash for junk cars. Do you have a vehicle that's become a problem? You can get cash in your hand today and your vehicle hauled away. They'll buy your vehicle no matter the condition, in your driveway, at your mechanic shop, or even on the side of the road. You can call them at 615-480-6473 or visit buyandtow.com. Get cash in your hand today and your vehicle hauled away. 615-480-6473. Buyandtow.com. That's buyandtow.com.
It's a Bill King Show.
Like a
I've mentioned, I thought Nick had a good 5 years still left in him. This one comes as a complete shock to me. If I sat here and said, I had a feeling, guys, Nick was trending, I'd be lying. That'd be the host trying to act like he knew something he didn't know. Why would I present that to you? I am shocked. I was taken aback by it.
Weekday mornings beginning at 6 on Sports Radio 560 on 95.9 FM.
Welcome back to the Strike and Spare Studios. You're listening to The McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Every day you can watch the show on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Don't forget on our YouTube page, you can interact as well. WNSR Live. Just one word in the search engine. That'll take you straight to us. You can interact with us. We also have a phone line and a text line. 615-844-5600. Back here on the McFarland Show. Half of the McFarlands today. Me, Darren, here. Justin is out today. And I'm live in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. And coming back from Indianapolis, we heard a little bit of what Brian Callahan had to say at the Combine today when speaking to the media. Terry McCormick, at TerryMC13, at TerryMC13 on Twitter or X, however you call it. He's with TitanInsider.com. He's been covering the team since they came to Nashville. Terry, how we doing?
Good. How are you guys?
What was good? No, look, in the 70s in February, we'll take it.
Oh, absolutely. It's actually mid-60s up here, although they're calling for hail and tornadoes here in a couple of hours.
Yeah, tomorrow, though, it's going to take a serious dip the other way. I think we're going to lose about 30 degrees tomorrow. So, anyway, it is still February, so no surprise. What was a couple of takeaways that you had from today's Combine?
Well, one of the things that I thought, certainly if you're a Titans fan, should be music to your ears is that this team is now embracing modern football.
I wish Justin was here to hear this.
Both Brian Callahan and Rand Carthon emphasized that getting faster and getting more playmakers to be able to move the ball down the field in chunks is a priority for this team and this organization. Not only this offseason with their $90 million in cap space, but moving forward, that's the model they're going to try to build on, based on, Will Levis and his ability to, have an elite style arm and see if they can build around him and put enough weapons around him to make big plays.
Yeah. Everybody's getting about an extra $30 million compared to last year's cap. So, again, it's not just the Titans. It's 31 other teams. But how much does that help them position themselves to be aggressive? And how much do you think that will, how much do you think they will be aggressive? Because, look, not everybody spends all their money. So you have to be, you have to be a little bit smart on how you go about trying to skin this. But how much do you think that changes their approach, or does it?
Well, I think it affects it a couple of ways. You're right. It does give them more money. They have the most salary cap space of any team in the league. So in having the most salary cap of any team in the league, they essentially hold the trump card, being able to, go get whatever player they want, in theory, if that player is certainly looking to be, highly paid at his position. On the flip side of that, the extra money that is going out to these teams, that may keep a couple of players, a guy who was going to be a cap cut here or a free agent that was not going to be able to re-sign there, that may keep that player off the market, because that as suddenly that the team that player is on has the money to retain that player and not let him get away and walk out the door. So there may be a couple of guys on their list that they don't have access to because of that. I mean, we're already seeing the Bengals franchising T. Higgins, who was thought to be one of the top priorities if he got to the free agent market for the Titans, simply for his background with Brian Callahan. So I think when you're talking about the totality of the extra money, it can be a good thing in terms of being able to go get who you want. And I think they'll be aggressive to a point, but I don't think they'll overspend, and I don't think they're going to spend frivolously if they can help it. But it also, the other side of that coin is that it can prevent you from having access to a player or two maybe that was on your radar before.
You know this, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, but most teams don't win because of free agent spending, right? I mean, sometimes every once in a while you get, you hit big with a free agent signing, but overall, I mean, I'd love to see the numbers. Teams that spend look, I understand it's just here, and this is what we follow them, closely. But think about the last 6 years. They've gone out, all the big money that they spent, Bud Dupree, none of that stuff worked out. None of the big contracts that they've had worked out.
No, it didn't. And the thing is, free agency is supposed to be used as a supplement. It's supposed to be used to fill a hole here or there. Ideally, the draft is how you build your team. And suppose you need a safety or you need an edge rusher or something like that. And for whatever reason, you just haven't developed that over-the-top guy that you feel like, puts you into another category. If a guy like that pops on the free agent market or is a late cap cut, a post-June cap cut, those are the type guys you want to try to add as supplementary pieces. It's sort of like you build through the draft, sort of like in baseball. You build through the farm system, and then you add a free agent here or there to help bolster your lineup or your rotation. In football, you build through the draft, and if you happen to be weak at guard or you happen to be, need a speed receiver, you can go find that in free agency as a complementary piece. That's how it's designed to be if you're running your organization the right way.
Let me selfishly ask a media question, because I don't know how many, but fans should care, because, the two of us know that the fans, in my opinion, they should want to hear from their head coach. They should want to hear from their general manager. Quite honestly, they should want to hear from their majority owner, but that's not always the case, and certainly hasn't been the case here, or at least in certain settings, a very comfortable setting. How different do you think things are going to be moving forward with Ryan Callahan? He seems, and I get it, it's the honeymoon phase. It's the very beginning. It's 2 dates in. Everybody's in a good mood. But at least early on, it feels like he's a very approachable guy. Is that fair to say?
It seems that way. And from all accounts that I got from talking to people in Cincinnati when they were going through the vetting process and the interview process for these candidates, everybody talked really well of Brian Callahan in terms of him as, a guy who is good with the media, a guy who has time for you, a guy who is willing to give you some of his time in order to, talk football and talk, about whatever. And I think, what we've seen so far of Callahan, that appears to be pretty spot on. He does seem to be a very approachable guy. He gives thoughtful answers when you ask the question. It's not, not a smart aleck 5-word answer and then he's on to the next thing. He takes time to answer your question.
Wow, who could you have been talking about? What about Rand Carthon? Do you think it's going to change now that Mike Vrabel's not in the mix, that he's going to be made more available, or he will make himself made more available? What do you think?
I think he should. I think he had some early missteps. I thought, he was very guarded in the press conference that he held right after Mike Vrabel's firing. I thought he appeared very, on eggshells there. But I'll say this: he was 1,000% better today. He was very relaxed. He was in front of, the local media. He was also in front of a few national guys while he was at the podium. And there's always a side session with the local guys after the podium time. And he was very, he didn't give away any of the house secrets, and I don't expect him to, but he was certainly very, he just, as John Glennon and I talked about it in the media room, he was very, he was just a guy. He carried on conversation back and forth, talking football, talking what his plans are as much as he could, that sort of thing. He did seem a lot more relaxed today than I have ever seen him in the media settings that he's had.
What do you attribute that to? I'm very interested by that answer. He sounded that way today, but I wonder what's the drastic change.
Well, I would attribute that to this. I think he now knows that it's his show to run. So why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he put his best foot forward here in this situation and try to make the best of it? I think he's got people in place now that answer to him, and that he said that even though he has control, he said he considers Brian Callahan a partner. So I think the two of them are learning each other, trying to work together. And I think that when you look at, just the situation that is being created here, this whole, and I hate using the word collaboration because that's, the buzzword that that's been overplayed and overkilled throughout this whole process. But I do think that Rand Carthon you're seeing a more relaxed and in control version of Rand Carthon, or at least we saw that today, than what we've seen before. And I think you have to attribute some of that to the fact that it's now his show.
How much were they talking up there about a lot of players that are choosing not to work out or choosing only to speak with teams but not run or not throw? I mean, it does seem like that list continues to grow every year, where less and less players are choosing to be a part of this setting, where before, Terry, as you know, you've been at this a long time, me too, if you didn't get invited there, you were crushed. And when you did get invited, you couldn't wait to get to Indianapolis to go through this whole thing, where players today doesn't feel like they view it the same way.
Yeah, it's interesting. I haven't talked to a whole lot of people about it. A lot was brought up about the whole Marvin Harrison Jr. thing.
Right.
But, the answer I think that Brian Callahan gave in that regard was, well, when you have the credentials and the type of prospect that he is, in so many words, he kind of said you can better dictate your own terms, and rather than come up here and be measured and poked and prodded and that sort of thing. So, I guess that makes sense. And I think that, you started seeing it over the years, like with the quarterbacks, well, this guy's not going to throw at the combine, or, and then that's kind of slowly trickled down to other positions where this guy won't run the 40 until his pro day and those sorts of things, or this guy is going to wait and have a private workout. Those types of things that, have kind of been trending for a number of years. I don't think it minimizes the importance of the combine, but I do think that it kind of, I guess, spreads everybody else out a little thinner to have to go and, do more evaluations, on the side rather than just in one setting, which is kind of the initial purpose of the combine, was to get eyes on as many players as you could in one setting.
Speaking with Terry McCormick, covers the Titans for TitanInsider.com at the Combine in Indianapolis today. I said in the first segment, I'm not locking it in yet because it's still February, but I'm pretty darn close to saying I think without a doubt this team needs and will draft a left tackle with the 7th pick in the draft. Where are you at today on, look, they have a ton of needs, I get it, but where are you at today on what you think they should do and what that you think they will do?
Well, that's a good question, Darren, and it was brought up here too, because in a roundabout way, because Brian Callahan was asked if they might wait about a left tackle because his father, Bill, obviously is one of the best line coaches and is known for developing prospects and things like that. So would there be a scenario where they could wait and maybe go at 38 and answer the tackle position so that they could get a playmaker and a skill position player? And the answer that Brian Callahan gave was, he goes, even though his father is a great coach, they will not pass up an elite talent at the position in order to, have a great coach develop another guy. Because he said, when you put elite with a great coach, then you have something. So I still lean toward left tackle, but then he kind of hinted to, and he's done this before, how, players who make plays, who have do good things with the ball in their hands are a priority. So I wouldn't be shocked if they went receiver at number 7. Some of that's going to be determined by who gets to the market in free agency at wide receiver and if they can get one of those guys. Because I think receiver and cornerback may be where they have to fill in free agency more so than at left tackle, because there are not many left tackles that are good that get to the market. We saw that last year with Andre Dillard. So I think what you wind up with is you can find a decent receiver or two, you can find a decent corner or two on the free agent market, but I don't know that you can find a left tackle that's high quality without drafting one in the first round or maybe the second round if you can develop it.
That's where I'm at, because I feel like all the big-time left tackles in the league were all first-round picks. All the ones that were solidified here were first-round picks. Although was Roos second round?
Roos was actually a second round.
Yeah, so Taylor Lewan and B-Hop were first. Oh, boy. Wow. Okay, well, at least they made up for it with Roos. But so, yeah, B-Hop and Lewan first round, Roos second round, but most of the premier left tackles are all first-round picks. What we're seeing in this league, A.J. Brown, second round. I think Deebo Samuel was second round. Amon St. Brown in Detroit, it was a fourth-round pick. I mean, you can get guys later in the draft, at least second round. And this draft, if you talk to enough people, sounds like there are plenty of talented receivers, and they're not all going in the first round. They're going to slip to the second. I feel like you just have a better shot of getting that talented receiver by holding off the second round, but you can't get that premier left tackle if you don't do it at the beginning of the draft. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I kind of think I kind of agree with you here. I think it's a situation where it's a much deeper class at receiver, and therefore you might be able to get a guy at the top of the second round that can come in and help you right away. He might not be elite like Marvin Harrison Jr. or Malik Neighbors or somebody might be right out of the gate, but certainly you can get a guy who can come in and contribute and be a starter in this league in round 2 out of this draft, I would think.
There's been chatter about Hollywood Brown, Marquise Brown, as a free agent receiver, a good fit for the Titans. What do you think? I'm not going to give you my opinion till after I hear yours. What do you think of that? Good idea, bad idea?
It's okay. He's been a little bit too well traveled for my liking, and I think he's kind of a one-trick pony. If I was going to go down that road, I think I'd rather have Gabe Davis of Buffalo because he's younger and he's averaged almost 17 yards a catch, and I think he's already played with a quarterback who has a really strong arm in Josh Allen, so he would know what to do. If I were going to go for that type of receiver, I think I would take Davis over Brown.
I'm a big no. I mean, a big no. Like, no. Stay away. And hearing the kind of money that he may get, like, no. Even more of a no. By the way, T. Higgins was also a second-round pick, high second round. I'm just saying you have a better shot of still landing a premier receiver if you just hold out because you have a high second-round pick. I just don't think those left tackles are going to slip, so you have to do it.
Yeah,
so
you do. And the thing about the second round is this. The people talk about how many guys actually have a first-round grade. Usually it's 20 to 25.
Mm-hmm.
But then there are a lot of those A-, B+ type players that are, that fall in the last few picks of the first round and the first few picks of the second round. And, Will Levis was one of those guys. He was exactly one of those guys who was, some teams had him with a first-round grade, some teams didn't, and the Titans wound up getting him at the top of the second round. And to me, the second round is a really vague area where there are a lot of talented prospects that can really come in and help you. But there's also a big difference. There's a big difference in picking 33 in the second round and picking 63 at the back of the second round in terms of talent.
Yeah, no doubt. Terry, appreciate it. As always, safe travels back, and we'll talk soon.
All right, thanks.
Terry McCormick at TerryMC13 on Twitter. He's been covering the team since they came to Nashville. Been doing it a long time. Titan Insider McFarland.com. We'll talk to Opinionated Larry on the other side as you listen to the McFarland Show, WNSR.
Hi, I'm Jeff Fisher. You know, you're probably the Nashville Cats are coming back to Music City. Well, you are correct. They're coming back, and they're coming in hot, starting April 27th with the first of 5 home games at the historic Municipal Auditorium. There will be an additional game at F&M Bank Arena in mid-May up in Clarksville, and that will be honoring our military. Single game tickets as well as season tickets are on sale now. For more information, come visit thenashvillecats.com.
Bob's Steak and Chop House, located in the Omni Nashville Hotel, is a nationally renowned steakhouse specializing in the finest corn-fed Midwestern prime beef. The menu formula is simple: incredible meat, gigantic shrimp, fabulous salads, and decadent desserts. Start your experience at Bob's with the fried calamari or fresh scallops seared in Texas burnt honey. All the beef at Bob's Steak and Chop House are USDA prime cuts, from the traditional filet of tenderloin and ribeye to the adventurous Kansas City bone-in strip. They even have 2 different surf and turf options. And if you're looking for the other white meat, Bob's Steak and Chop House serves a dry-aged pork tomahawk with homemade applesauce. Fresh seafood is on the menu, from salmon to scampi, and even fresh lobster tail. For reservations, give them a call or log on to the Omni Nashville Hotel website. Bob's Steak and Chop House at the Omni Nashville Hotel.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-617-0239. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-617-0239. That's 800-617-0239. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Patrick Mahomes, he's in the GOAT conversation with this win. I'm calling him Michael Jordan, essentially, because he's taking other people's rings. There's no shame in losing to Patrick Mahomes. He's that good. If you just got bested by Patrick Mahomes, you just got bested by Patrick Mahomes. It's Patrick Mahomes, GOAT level kind of guy.
The McFarland Show with Darren and Justin on Nashville Sports Radio,
Your
WNSR.
exclusive Nashville Sports Radio, WNSR Sky Scan forecast for today. It'll be windy with showers and a high of 74. Showers likely overnight tonight, low 50. Showers starting to come to an end tomorrow late in the day, high of 68. And then sunshine returns on Thursday with a high of 51. Utilizing the resources of the WeatherBug Network on Nashville Sports Radio, I'm WNSR's Brent Allen.
You're listening live from the Strike and Spare Studios, downtown Music City. It's the McFarland Show.
Good stuff from Terry McCormick as always. Combine, today's theme. We'll check in with John Burton in the second hour. Of course, one of the hosts for JB and the General, 9 to 11, weekdays here on this station. Also, TV John Burton, News Channel 5, and he will have coverage tonight on News Channel 5 from everything that took place in Indianapolis. So we'll talk to John coming up at 3 o'clock. Darren McFarland here in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. Justin is out today. 615-844-5600 is the phone line and the text line. DJ Damon, hit it. Now it's time for the Opinionated Larry question of the week. Sponsored by buyatow.com. Call 615-480-6473. Get cash in your hand today and that vehicle hauled away. Opinionated Larry is in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio after Damon just about blew out my eardrums. Larry, good to see you back.
That's called over-recorded.
A little over-modulated.
Yeah, a little over-modulated.
Hold on, we don't have his mic is not on.
Okay. Okay, ready?
Damon did it intentionally.
There we go.
He did it intentionally.
There we go.
He didn't want to hear what I had to say. I know, but good talk, good stuff. A lot of stuff going to be going on in the draft, the NFL draft.
Yep.
I guess people are getting hyped up about it. But you know me. You know my perspective, man. I am a information, political news junkie. I'm trying to get over it. I'm trying to get over this. But right now, a lot of athletes, they kind of it had me stuck. So I can't get over the hump and get back into sports like I used to be. I used to be a rabid sports fan. Any sport on TV, radio, anywhere, I'm in. It's easy to get me in. I can sit and listen to it on radio. I can watch it. I can read about it in magazines, anything. You had me. But something happened with some of the athletes that kind of threw me for a loop when it seemed like some of the players were not being overly patriotic when a lot of things were going on, a lot of different things going on in the communities and everywhere. And so it kind of threw me for a loop. And so my question, if I was asking listeners, the question of the day, would you want your athletes for your team, your franchise players, or any of your players, most of your players on your favorite team, would you want those guys, girls, to be patriotic people? Would you want that? You know, because for me, it attracted me, and it alienated me when some of the athletes went in different directions. You know what I mean? And that's kind of so I'm so glad you guys allow me a few minutes to come on your show. You guys got a great show, but that's what kind of keeps me pulled back from sports like I used to be. You know?
Well, I would say, Larry, that the biggest example of the answer to your question is the NFL is a machine, correct? We all can agree.
Yes.
It is a machine. Over 200 million people at any point of the Super Bowl watched it. I mean, 2/3 of the country was watching the Super Bowl.
Yes.
It is just overtaken this country, and they're trying to overtake the world.
Yes.
Because they're going to go to Brazil next year, and they're already going to England and Germany and so forth and so on. So you would think, the reason I'm saying that is you would think an entity that big and that powerful is Teflon, right? Like you can't hurt it.
Yes.
You can't touch it.
Yeah.
In my opinion, when we went through this, I don't know, this has been now, what, 4 or 5 years? Yeah, 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
The whole anthem stuff.
Yes.
Guess what?
Yeah.
It affected the NFL.
It did.
It affected them greatly.
It did.
And people were turned off, and people were not watching. Ratings went down. Attendance went down. And all of a sudden, you see the big bad wolf, which is the NFL, go, hey, we've talked to the PA, and we've kind of come up with some new rules for the anthem.
Yes.
So, to me, real quick, and then I'm going to let you get back into this.
Okay.
I think the answer is unequivocally yes, because it was just proven with the NFL about 4 or 5 years ago where you could say nothing would affect them, but it did. Yes.
Well, you saw that the NFL made a big comeback. They came back bigger and better. I'm still on the fence because I saw so many so much divisiveness in it, so it kind of kept me on the fence. Still kept me on the fence right now. But you notice the NFL came back. They came back, especially this year. NFL, NBA Sundays used to always be NBA. Sunday, Christmas Sunday games were the NBA. You would have 4 games, premier games, the best teams in the league, NBA. Well, this year, look what happened.
NFL.
You had NFL all day Christmas Day, which, mind you, that probably was the most football I've watched. And again, I'm diehard. I used to be a season ticket holder for Tennessee Titans. From day one, I left the farm and left them, got out of there. I think probably before, just right when Vince Young came.
That was 06.
Yeah, so I got out. This guy's got Damon's got a question. Come on.
No, he's.
Oh, okay.
We're doing radio signals.
Okay, yeah. He said, but I'm gonna be sure. I'll be brief.
So can I ask you real quick?
Go ahead.
What spurred this on? Obviously, something triggered you. So was there something recently that triggered you?
Okay, so me, I'm a information guy. I like to stay informed, current affairs, athletes, sports. It's kind of third hand, not second hand, third hand. And I still see some of the professional, especially basketball, because basketball is, I think you get more basketball on YouTube hits and stuff like that. You'll see highlights. And so I see some of the players and I say, well, is this guy, is this not a hard worker? Is he not patriotic? What's going on? What's it? And it's kind of, it's not, maybe it seems like it's lazy to me. And so I'm saying, is that part of the not being serious and being patriotic? What is it? Well, I don't know what that has to do with, if that's the same thing, but patriotic people are normally hardworking, serious people. And I like that.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to help him out.
Go ahead.
One thing you have to realize, sports is about entertainment. And entertainment is what they do. They try to entertain you. A lot of times you're looking at people to be patriotic, but they're not there for that. A lot of them are not there for that. And when they play ball, they're there to play ball. And NFL is a franchise that's really more exciting right now than NBA. That's why you saw it more on TV. That's why you're seeing more of it now.
But I think Larry's telling us that he couldn't hire NBA players because they believe in load management. He doesn't believe in load management.
Did you guys see, real quick, I'm going to get out of your way. I'm about to get out of here. Did you guys see the NBA All-Star game?
No, I wouldn't. That was an All-Star game.
The NBA. That's what I'm saying.
That was an All-Star game, was it?
They used to be must-see TV. I'm getting out of here, guys. This used to be must-see TV, and now you can't hardly watch it. Guys, thank you for having me in here.
He's fired up. I love it.
Hey, look.
That's why he's
shout out to your guy,
Larry.
our guy who's not here today.
Yeah, Justin's out.
Justin, yeah, but big shout out. Thank you guys for having me.
Larry, good seeing you, man.
Thank you so much.
Opinionated Larry every Tuesday on the program. Appreciate it. He's fired up. I love it. Sponsored by buyandtow.com. Look, they don't believe in load management at buyandtow.com, okay? I'm just tell you that right now. They are hard workers. 615-480-6473. Get cash in your hand today and that vehicle hauled away. Come back and wrap up the first hour next.
With 13 locations nationally, including Our Leasing Company is a semi-trailer one-stop shop and the perfect place to build a career as a semi-trailer mechanic. Seeking candidates with all levels of experience, Star Leasing Company has a semi-trailer technician trainee program with sign-on and quarterly bonuses and other opportunities such as $1,000 for having a yearly physical. Package also includes 401k with company match, health, dental, and vision insurance, competitive pay with weekly paychecks, and paid holidays and time off. Star Leasing Company, not your typical semi-trailer leasing company. It's starleasing.com to learn more.
Attention business owners. WNSR has some exciting opportunities for your business to thrive in the dynamic world of sports radio advertising. As the proud home of some of your favorite sports teams like the Atlanta Braves, Memphis Grizzlies, and more, we understand the power of sports in bringing people together and creating a passionate community. We believe that your business can become an integral part of this experience, reaching a diverse and engaged audience. Contact the WNSR sales team for an opportunity to discuss how Nashville's sports radio can elevate your brand to new heights. Whether you're interested in a specific sponsorship package or would like a customized solution, we are here to meet your advertising needs. Call 615-844-1039, 615-844-1039, or email saleswnsr@gmail.com. That's saleswnsr@gmail.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
In a single moment, everything can change. When a player's sudden cardiac event brought a national football game to a halt, it shone a spotlight on the importance of CPR readiness. Now, with youth sports in full swing, the American Heart Association is rallying parents and coaches to be ready in an emergency. To be ready, learn hands-only CPR. It's a skill anyone can learn in minutes. Visit heart.org/handsonlycpr and become a lifesaver today.
Are you ready for some March Madness? Then don't miss out on any of the action at the High Valley Conference Basketball Championship presented by United Fidelity as the return to the Ford Center downtown Evansville for March 6th through the 9th as the first entries into the men's and women's NCAA basketball tournaments are crowned. All session tickets and single game tickets are now on sale through each OVC school's ticket office, Ticketmaster, and the Ford Center box office. Visit ovcsports.com/Evansville for more details and be there to OVC it in person.
The McFarland Show. Video streaming live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube from the Strike and Spare studio.
(615-844-5600) tonight. Kentucky at Mississippi State. That'll be a good one. 6 o'clock tip on ESPN. Georgia's at LSU. That'll also be at 6 o'clock on SEC Network. And then Vanderbilt will be in Fayetteville to take on Arkansas tonight at 8 o'clock, also on SEC Network.
I like how you transitioned out of that hot subject.
Well, I think that we said all that was needed to be said.
Anyway, thank you so much. All righty then.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, those are good. The Kentucky-Mississippi State game is
Oh, that's
going to
gonna
be a good one. And then tomorrow, and we'll get into this on tomorrow's show, like Auburn, Tennessee, that's going to be a doozy.
I'm going to be out of town, so I'm going to be listening, but I'm kind of scared to listen, but we'll see what happens. So. But I think Tennessee going to win. But
Well, they're at home,
yeah.
so that already is a good way to. They're much better at home.
Yes, sir.
We know it's easier to win at home than on the road in college basketball, especially for whatever reason. Stats have shown it is the best home court advantage in all of sports. Believe it or not, college basketball. How about that? All right, that's going to do it for hour number one. We'll come back. We'll check in with John Burton, also at the Combine today, and we'll do that next as you listen to The McFarland Show, WNSR.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Senate Democrats say they'll try to force a vote on IVF tomorrow, focusing on establishing a right for Americans to access assistive reproductive technologies. It follows Alabama's state Supreme Court ruling that frozen embryos are children. The legislation, led by Senator Tammy Duckworth, who used IVF to conceive her two children, says Republicans need to go on record.
If you're thinking that this makes no sense, you're right. The very people who claim to be defending family values are actively trying to enact policies that would actually prevent Americans from creating those families.
House Republicans in the impeachment inquiry have issued a subpoena for Attorney General Merrick Garland to turn over records from Special Counsel Robert Hur's probe into President Biden and his family's overseas business dealings. Americans signaling they're less confident this month than in January about the economy. The Consumer Confidence Index dipping over global tensions and the presidential race. This is ABC News.
Give the star in your life the brightest gift in the world. Name a star after them. This is Rocky Moselle with International Star Registry. For $59 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit starregistry.com, you can name a star for birthdays, weddings, or even memorials. Over 45 years, we have named millions of stars for celebrities and individuals from around the world. The star you name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Visit starregistry.com or call 800-282-3333.
Offer not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Maxed out cards, rent is due. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
Maybe we should go to 27cash.com.
With our bad credit?
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Rizumkizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Sky Rizzy, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Sky Rizzy is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Sky Rizzy, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Your doctor today about Sky Rizzy, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizzy.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZY to learn more.
Listen, you can't handle the truth. It's about to go off. Live from the WNSR Strike and Spare studios.
Just a bit outside.
Now back to the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Show me the money!
Call or text now. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Call us or send us a text on the WNSR text line. 615-844-5600. 615-844-5600. Call or text. Same number.
Alrighty then.
Now, the McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
Second hour of the McFarland Show here in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. Darren McFarland, one half of the show. Justin out today. Hour number 2 rolling along. DJ Damon is alongside. Predators coming off that very, very successful road trip. Most successful one in franchise history, going 5-0. They are back home tonight against Ottawa. The Senators are in town. 7 o'clock puck drop. So we'll see if they can make it 6 in a row tonight at Bridgestone Arena. So we talked to Terry McCormick in the first hour, who was in Indianapolis at the Combine. Our second guest, also in Indianapolis at the Combine. On the radio side, JB in the General, weekdays 9 to 11 here on these airwaves, and at night he puts on a suit, and he's TV's John Burton, News Channel 5, and you can watch all of his coverage tonight from the Combine, starting at 4 o'clock. John, how we doing?
Good, D-Mac. How you doing, my man?
Doing fantastic. What were your impressions of what took place in Indianapolis today?
Well, I think the biggest thing, Darren, is it seemed like both Brian Callahan and Rand Carthon kind of went out of their way to let everybody know, hey, we're in this together, and we are of sound mind and kumbaya and simpatico and all those wonderful things. They really put an emphasis on, Carthon saying, Callahan's my partner in this, and Callahan saying, I love working with Rand, and Rand's a great people person. And so it seemed like they really wanted to emphasize the fact that they are in this together and everybody's on the same page. Did you not get that impression, D-Mac?
Oh, I got the impression they gave each other chocolates on Valentine's Day.
I mean, I was waiting for somebody to give the other one a ring and propose, and, but that's good though, right? That's what 80 wants. That's what,
It is, JB, but here's what I said in the first segment of the show. We were playing some of those clips, and I said, Brian Callahan's been this is like his second date, right? Like, it's not even honeymoon. It's like second date as the head coach. And Rand Carthon's been on the job for a year. Like, they are truly in the beginning stages of dating and their relationship. Well, if you're in the beginning stages of dating and you already have problems, well, we know it's not going to work out. So everything should be kumbaya.
Sure. But you know what? The good thing about it is, though, I've been talking about this for several weeks now, Darren, is the fact that we have an organizational flow chart. We know who answers to who now. So if there is a, situation where one guy wants one thing and the other guy wants another thing, well, guess what? Rand wins. And, for good or for bad, better or worse, we'll find out how effective it'll be. But I like the fact that there is a structure to the front office, something that I don't think Mike Vrabel was all that crazy about.
No, he wasn't. Do you think Rand is, I don't know if embracing is the right word, John. I know he understands, I think. But was it brought up today like, hey, Mike Vrabel is gone. You've hired this guy. You're now running the show. Now the attention now turns to you. Whatever went on last year, nobody was really looking at you. Everybody was more looking at Mike Vrabel, and everybody was trying to figure out, well, who picked who signed who, whose call was it? but Rand basically wasn't getting he was kind of getting a pass, and he was new, right? Well, now this is his baby. Did he talk about that at all?
I did ask him about that. I said, how did things change in your new role now that you are not only the general manager, but the executive vice president in charge of the coaching staff, in charge of putting the roster together? And, he kind of, I'm not going to say blew it off, but he kind of downplayed it a little bit. He's like, it's a little bit of extra responsibility, but, it's not much different than what I'm used to. But judging by his body language, the way he carried himself today, just walking around the media area and, talking to the media both at the podium and then in the little side gaggle for the locals afterwards, I think he understands it's his show. He better understand it because, if things don't work, I mean, it's going to be all on him. And, but if I'm Rand Carthon, I'm thinking, well, that's what I'm here for. If I'm the general manager, put it all on me. This is what I prepared myself for. This is what I want to do. And, I'm ready for the challenge. So I think he's up for it.
Do you think it helps them? Because, John, just, we can state all the examples. When you keep winning and winning and winning, then you start getting like those expectations and unfair expectations, and like anything short of, greatness every year is a failure. Well, they're not in any of that right now. And they're not really on anybody's radar, and they're not going to be. They're going to fly right under the radar, stealth mode this offseason. No one's going to be talking about the Titans. Do you think that could actually work in their favor? Because I know they have expectations and they have to be successful or they won't be able to keep their jobs. But there's no expectations from the national media or local media for them to be good this upcoming season. Do you think that could actually help them?
I absolutely do think it can, D-Mac, because you hit the nail right on the head, right? Expectations are low. New head coach, who's also a first-time play caller, right? Young quarterback, second-year general manager, a roster that needs to be rebuilt. But the beautiful thing about it is, in the NFL, as well as I do, if you do it right, you can flip this thing in a year. They've got cap space. They've got a premium draft spot at number 7. If they know what they're doing and the pieces fall into place and Levis continues to develop and he learns Callahan's offense, who knows what could happen next year? So, and then everybody's singing their praises about what geniuses they are. But you're right. So I think in this situation, with the expectations being what they are, you can never relax in this business, in this job, but you can conceivably take your time and put things together exactly the way you want them to, whether it's Rand and how he, scouts players, it's Callahan, how he puts his coaching staff together and develops game plans each week and learns how to deal with being a play caller, an in-game play caller week to week. There is a little bit of wiggle room here that wasn't there the last couple of years under Vrabel, especially after getting that 1 seed a couple of years ago. So, yeah, I think you're spot on with that. I think it could turn out to be a really good thing for this organization.
Yeah. All right, I've hung the dartboard up, JB. I've just laid some darts next to you, so let's throw some darts because I know we don't know the answers to this, but let's have a little fun with it. So they've got $30 million extra, so they got a lot of dough to spend. Doesn't mean they're going to spend it all in free agency, but they have a lot of dough to play with. I'm not going to ask, obviously, a name. I just first move this offseason in free agency is going to be what position, in your opinion? What's going to be the first position we talk about Rand Carthon signs?
Secondary.
I'm with you. I'm totally with you. I think that's where they turn. That's where they turn for. They're going to need another corner, aren't they?
Absolutely. I don't think Fulton's going to be back, and McCreary's still he's a young guy who's got a lot of potential, but you have to kind of wait and see on him. So yeah, I would see money spent in the secondary before anywhere else, because I think they're going to want to look to address offensive line in the draft, right? Because we're looking at offensive line, wide receiver, secondary. But yeah, I could see them addressing their secondary needs first and foremost in free agency.
Okay. Dart number 2, 7th pick in the draft, first round. What position were they going today? I'm asking you on February 27th.
Yeah. Offensive line, more specifically, probably offensive tackle.
Yeah, me too. Okay, we are in lockstep today.
We're like Callahan and Carthon,
We're just
black guy, white guy. It's all working, man.
I need to work on my beard though, or at least 5 o'clock shadow, like Brian Callahan. I don't think I can connect them.
Carthon's got a killer beard,
He's
man.
got
That's
a
like
killer
Teddy
one.
Pendergrass
I
from the
know.
70s, bro.
I'm very jealous of both of them, their facial hair. I can't do that. So I'm with you. Left tackle. I'm thoroughly convinced that is where they need to go, and they will go with that 7th pick. I'm just convinced of it.
I'm right there with you, D-Mac.
Okay.
I think they're eyeing Joe Alt. I think if he's on the board, they got to snag him, don't they?
I've not gotten to the point where I'm ready to name names. I'm
Gotcha.
just ready to name position, and I think it's going to be left tackle, and I think they're hoping that Bill Callahan can produce a left tackle and a left guard and show them the ropes, and that's what they'll have for the next decade, and they don't have to worry about the left side for a long time. I know that's easier said than done, right? But I think that should be the plan, in my opinion.
I'm with you 100%.
Okay. Do you think they will sign a wide receiver in the free agency period?
I think it's going to be hard, given, the money that's going to be floating out there. I think they may feel their money might be better spent, going wide receiver in the 2nd, maybe 3rd round. It's going to depend what the market bears. Obviously, T. Higgins is off the board now because he just got franchised by the Bengals. There's some decent names out there, but I don't know. My first instinct is to say they may use the draft to shore up wide receiver unless, somebody they really like is out there and it comes at a price that they can afford.
Okay, I'm going to tell you why I brought that up. You were there, so you're better equipped to answer this. I just listened to a lot of what Brian Callahan and Rand Carthon had to say. I got the impression today their words carefully used was, and I'm going to put this as nice as I can, is our wide receivers are trash, okay? And we got to rebuild that room up. And I think they're going to do it in the draft and free agency. I think they just told us they need a lot of help at that position. Am I off here?
No, you're not off at all. And the word that was used a lot was speed. We need to upgrade our speed at wide receiver. And, I'll take it further. When Callahan talking about Traylon Burks, you heard what he had to say. He's like, I like his talent, but the rest is kind of up to him. He's got to get in here. He's got to show that he's ready to play, and he's got to show me something. I mean, he said a lot nicer than I just did, but didn't you get that kind of
100%.
that vibe from him talking about Traylon Burks? So
100%.
You're right. I think that's a position that needs a vast upgrade. I mean, D-Hop is, he'll tell you himself he's not a burner. He's more of a possession guy and a route runner and a contested catch guy. He might be the 2nd greatest contested catch guy of all time behind Randy Moss. So, but he's not going to beat you over the top. And Traylon Burks, we're still waiting to see what this guy's going to be like. Yeah, I would say speed, wide receiver ability and speed are going to be paramount for this team, this season. And, now having said that, I'm leaning towards maybe they might look at wide receiver in free agency, but man, those guys, they want a lot of money, those wide receivers. And it's a premium position. I get why.
Yeah. John Burton on the line with us, JB and the General, 9 to 11 weekdays here on these airwaves. John Burton TV, John Burton, News Channel 5. Look for all of his coverage tonight starting at 4 o'clock. So let me stick with the Traylon Burks theme. I've never skydived. I never will skydive, ever. I don't care if it's free. I don't care if I get paid. I will never skydive. Right. But I've watched enough. I know how it works. I'm not ready to throw the parachute out and then jump out of the plane on Traylon Burks. I've jumped out of the plane. I'm falling. I have both hands on the ripcord. I'm about to pull the ripcord. I haven't done it yet. I know it's just 2 years. And some people say, it's still too early. John, I've got both hands on the ripcord. Again, I haven't pulled the chute on Burks, but I'm starting to see the ground, and I'm getting nervous, and I'm about ready to pull it because I'm just not sure this is going to work. What say you?
Man, it's tough to argue your point there, D-Mac. I mean, I know injuries. You can't account for injuries. Those are unfortunate happenings, but we've seen this kid have opportunities to make plays, and he hasn't made them, right? And, you know, this was a guy, I mean, gosh, the pressure that's on this kid, right? You know, this was a guy that was drafted 5 minutes after they shipped A.J. Brown up to Philadelphia, and they're saying, and they told the fans basically, don't worry about losing A.J. Brown. We have Traylon Burks. And he's got to show something, right? He's got to show something this year. I mean, he's going to be playing for, you know, a front office that didn't draft him. And, you know, this is his time to shine. He better show up to off-season conditioning in shape. He better, you know, look the part in training camp, and he better make some plays in games, because that's another thing that they were both talking about today, Callahan and Carthon. We need playmakers on both sides of the ball, but particularly on offense, right? Callahan's an offensive guy, and, you know, he wants guys that can make big plays down the field, and Traylon Burks has to be one of those guys. And if he's not, then he might be playing somewhere else.
Yeah, I know they didn't shut the door on Derrick Henry today, and I get all that. I know I've just never been in that camp. You know, there's a dang promo running on the station says and I love him, and I don't want him to see him go, but I think he's gone. I think they're moving on from him. Do you think with all these big name running backs that are out there, do you think any of those fits what Brian Callahan is trying to do here to basically be a Batman Robin with Spears and fill in the blank running back?
Well, I mean, you're
free
right.
Agent.
There's some talented guys out there, free agents, right? Pollard's going to be a free agent. Saquon Barkley's going to be a free agent. Jacobs is going to be a free agent.
Yep.
But, you know, you can get a good running back in the 4th or 5th round, D-Mac. How many times have we seen it? You know, you don't need to spend big money or commit a lot to a running back these days. To me, it's more about, and I'm with you, I love Derrick Henry. We all love Derrick Henry, and he's been great here, and he's been fantastic. And I know the fans love the fact that, hey, a premium superstar player plays in our city and wears our colors. I get all that, and he's closing in on some all-time franchise records. But I just feel like now in this day and age of the NFL, it's more about running game than it is about running back. And so I think you can get a decent guy in the mid to later rounds at running back. So I don't see the Titans going out and spending money after they just parted ways, presumably with Derrick Henry. And I'm with you. I think there's a less than 5% chance that they re-sign him and he comes back. You know, we'll see if I'm wrong. Other people think there's a chance. Other people, I think, are more wishing than predicting it. But, you know, I say go out and get yourself a good running back. And like I said, 3rd, 4th, 5th round. And, you know, make sure it's somebody that Callahan likes for his system, a Joe Mixon type.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be fine, especially with Spears already in the mix.
Right. All right. Well done. Hey, really appreciate your time. So what are the times for people to turn on News Channel 5 and see your coverage from Indianapolis? 4 o'clock?
Well, you're a hell of
5 o'clock?
You're a hell of a guy for letting me promote that, first of all, Darren. But, 4, 5, 6:30, and 10 o'clock sports. We'll be all over it.
Awesome. Great work, as always. Appreciate it. JB, safe travels back, and we'll talk soon.
JB, I like the outfit you wore the other day, too. You look like you was ready to play with the Titans, too. You might want to put on a uniform. It was tight.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Damon's in a good mood. He's going on vacation
it was tight,
after the
Darren.
show.
It was tight.
I believe you.
Well, David, have fun on vacation, man.
Thank
and
you,
Darren,
brother.
always great to talk to you, my friend.
All right, John. Likewise. John Burton, News Channel 5, and, of course, JB and the General. Weekdays, 9 to 11 here on these airwaves. Patton did most of the show today by himself. I know John checked in from Indianapolis, but he had Eli Gold on. Good work by him. Good show today by young Patton. He is just growing up right in front of us. 615-844-5600 is our phone line and our text line. We're wide open the rest of the hour. If you would like to get involved in the show, there's a lot to discuss, and we can do that with you. We can do that next here on the McFarland Show, WNSR.
Oh, beautiful gold rush with your sparkling top prize. You surely are a sight for sore eyes. And jackpot slots with your chance of $75,000 winners. Oh, how I'd take you for a candlelight dinner.
Sounds like people are really loving the new February instant games from the Tennessee Lottery. Play today for your chance to win up to $5 million, only from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
Gas, groceries, utilities, you name it, the price of everything is going up, and if you're stuck in a bad timeshare with rising maintenance fees, The financial burden can be crushing. It is time to get your finances in order and get the real facts about that timeshare that you are stuck in and your options to get rid of it. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has been helping families out of horrible timeshares for over 10 years and has put together a complete timeshare exit information kit that he will send you absolutely free. To date, over 30,000 families have trusted Wesley Financial Group to help them out of financial hardship by getting them out of bad timeshares. Get the facts about how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation. Simply call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit and see how you can become timeshare free. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. Once again, 800-462-3333.
A friend of mine just bought a new house for the first time. A new house. I mean, my wife and I'd love to own a house. So I asked him how he did it. And he smiled and he said he went to the knowledge tree. He had this happy look on his face. So I told him to tell me more. And he said, John, the lack of knowledge will keep you poor. Then he handed me a brochure. It was from Knowledge Tree Mortgage. Now I understood. And after one phone call, I understood even more. Knowledge Tree Mortgage specializes in first-time home buyers. Folks like me who get the runaround from banks, and he got us pre-qualified. Knowledge Tree Mortgage got us our mortgage. And tomorrow, my wife and I are going to become first-time home buyers. Here's the number, 859-9599. 859-9599. Money doesn't grow on trees. Knowledge does. Knowledge Tree Mortgage, 859-9599. 859-9599.
You enjoy the thrill of gambling, but what happens when it becomes a problem? Whether you want to cut back or quit gambling altogether, the Gambling Clinic has been helping people change their gambling for over 2 decades. We're here to help, not to judge. The Gambling Clinic is a Tennessee-based clinic offering in-person and telehealth support to help people win back their life. Visit us at thegamblingclinic.com. This project is funded by the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
Hey, it's John Burton from News Channel 5.
And it's Patton Cook from Nashville Sports Radio.
We are excited for our new show, JB and the General, every Monday through Friday right here on WNSR Nashville Sports Radio.
Talking all things Titans, Nashville SC, Preds, anything you want, we can talk.
And we don't mind going off the beaten path once in a while as well. Again, that's every Monday through Friday, 9 to 11, right here on WNSR.
Text the Strike and Spare studio now at 615-844-5600. You're listening to The McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Good stuff from John Burton. Theme today, Combine in Indianapolis. 615-844-5600 is the phone line and the text line. Let's go to it. Let's bring in Dr. Detroit. Dee, what's up? Is he there?
Well, he's there somewhere.
Going once, twice.
He said he had gotten sick babysitting, so
3 times a lady. He's gone.
Dr. Detroit.
He gone.
He'll call back.
He gone.
Oh, wait a minute. Dr. Detroit?
Yes, sir.
Oh, there we are.
Okay, then.
We lost you. What's going on, man?
My God, you threw me in the closet and forgot about me?
You sound like you're calling from the closet. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm ill, Dr. Detroit, today. I mean,
Okay.
I'm sick. But anyway, man, you know, some of the best road trips, Darren, are the ones you just go spontaneous to. And by damn, I swear, when I closed Checkers Saturday night, I just got a vibe that I needed to go, which is my insurance and better 400. I just knew I should go. But funds and everything, my property, county taxes due the end of the month, you know, just screws everything up. But man, if you've not seen that finish,
did you go?
No, man. I wish I did, but I got to pay my property and county taxes before the end of February. But man, what a finish! Hey, I'm happy for Daniel Suarez. I like that young man. He's extremely nice. got a good American girlfriend. They're happy and good for Trackhouse Racing here. Somebody says located in Berry Hill. Is that correct?
It's around here. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be darned. But anyway, congrats to him.
Yeah,
and,
he won by the hair on his chinny chin, man. That was amazing finish.
Yeah, it was, man. I can't wait to watch NASCAR recap at 5 on Fox Sports 1.
And by the
But
way,
anyway,
why do they go 4 wide? Like it never works. Like once it's always going to be a wreck. Always.
Yeah, Darren, this is the first time, I've been in NASCAR for 40 some odd years plus. To go Daytona and Atlanta, it just seems like they were so anxious to prove a point to one another. And of course, only Toyota and Ford had a new body style. They introduced the Dark Horse Mustang for the Ford, which they're using in Formula One as well, which I'm happy. You remember what we did to Ferrari in the movie Ford versus Ferrari when they Ferrari looked like a Denny Can ship RD. So, I love that movie. Absolutely.
It is a good movie. Good movie.
Yeah, it really is. Now there's supposed to, I don't know if it's coming out or what, a movie about just Ferrari.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. But anyway, sorry, I heard Eli go yesterday and just chill bumps. I met him so many times. Just a class act. Wonderful patriot. And so he's going to be the voice of the Cats.
Yes, sir. And not the voice of Alabama next year. Let me just tell you, Alabama football without Nick Saban and Eli Gold is going to be really strange.
It's going to be scary. That's. I mean, to adapt to that, Darren, you're right, man. That's going to take a long time, for the Crimson Tide to pick up on that. And I don't even know if you told me who's picked up the play-by-play from Eli Gold for Alabama.
It's going to be, I mean, it's a familiar voice. I mean, it's Chris Stewart, who's been doing basketball forever. And, sidelines. So, I mean, Chris Stewart has been in the Alabama family, but, and I love Chris, and he's been on the show many, many times over the years. Sure. He's not Eli Gold, man. Eli Gold is Eli Gold. The Hall of Famer.
Eli Gold, just a tad, has got the similarity of John Ward. I mean, he can be a little comical, but and he loves telling stories during football games and so forth. But no, man, the man is just an iconic icon for me. Knowing him in NASCAR before I even knew anything about him being affiliated with Alabama. But oh man, how exciting! I'm looking forward to it. Y'all have to get him on again because I guarantee he'll start chuckling. He's like, "Oh yeah, I remember you, Dr. Troy."
Oh yeah, I will. We will. I texted with him today, so he'll be on soon.
All right, God bless, man.
Thank you, DJ. Appreciate it. Get better.
Yeah, because he got the wrong show, but it's okay.
It's all right.
He was on the radio here.
Yeah, he was on this morning.
Yeah, okay.
Eli's a good man.
Eli, I love Eli Gold, man.
I mean,
I hated him when he called those games, but I love him as a voice.
But this conference was spoiled for a long time with guys like Larry Munson.
Oh, man.
John Ward.
Yeah.
Eli Gold. Think about how many decades and how many football games.
You know why I love UT? Is because I heard John Ward when I was about 10 years old. And he was calling games, this football time. That's it.
I know.
Then you see Reggie White play.
Nothing against the guys. Bob Keston's been doing it a long time.
Yeah.
Nothing against all these guys, that have replaced them. But, man, we had some legendary voices.
Man.
Legendary voices in the SEC.
Bob Kessling has a tendency to be neutral. Like, if he's calling a game, he seems like he gets excited when the other team scores. Like with John Ward, he would never do that. He'd get excited when UT scored in and say, oh, they scored a touchdown. Okay, get the ball back. It's like,
yeah,
that's what you like.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying.
Okay.
I do. Eric in Columbia on our YouTube page does not agree with me on the left tackle. He says he very much disagrees with drafting the left tackle with the first pick. Eric, why? Why would you be against that? Let's see. I'm trying to see if he said maybe a receiver. Maybe.
Oh, man, come on, really?
Oh, he said the A.J. Brown, Amon St. Brown, Debo Samuel, that was luck. Well, the draft is luck. I mean, it's an inexact science. This just in. It's hard.
It's hard.
That's why I use the dart reference with JB. Like, they're throwing darts. I mean, yes, you study them, you talk to them, you have notes, you scout them. I get all that. You can do all that, but you truly don't know. You don't. You may think you know, and sometimes you are right. And then sometimes you think you know, and then you couldn't be more wrong when they get there, right? I mean, that's just the way it works. So if everybody truly knew, there wouldn't be very many misses in the draft. Let's go back to the phone. 615-844-5600. Let's go to Doug. Doug, what's up?
Hey, good afternoon, man. And DJ Damon, he's filling in mighty nicely today and yesterday as well.
Well, he's in a good mood. He's getting ready to go on vacation with the wife, so he's in good spirits.
Well, I'm sure he's going to miss you. I'm sure he will.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'll be thinking about them every day.
I'm sure he will. Yeah.
Every minute.
Without a doubt.
Sitting poolside.
Just a couple of comments. Appreciate your perspective of the dart thing. I hate mock drafts. They just get on my nerves. But I've got two things. And this morning, the general with Eli Gold, 5-star interview he did this morning. But the need for speed for the Titans. If I'm a wide receiver, and I've been a wide, and I look over there and I see what's defending me, I'm licking my lips because our DBs can't catch a cold. So we have a need on that side, as well as a wide receiver that can take the top off of somebody else's offense.
Yeah, that's why I asked John Burton about that.
bad.
They need to. They're going to address it with free agency, Doug. I really probably both draft and free agency. They have to. You're right.
You have to, because there's no threat to stop a touchdown, and there's no threat to make a touchdown. Chris Sanders will argue.
Look at the two. Look at the two guys for the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I mean, just
look at how many
lockdown.
times when you could see a pass, and I would just be saying, "Oh no," and you knew the guy was going to trot in the end zone because we can't catch a cold.
Yeah, it's not good.
And then along with the Eli Gold calling the Cats, in their season coming back to Nashville. How awesome is that? And my question is, has the roster been decided for the Cats, and are there any local guys that's going to make the team? If you guys know, I'll hang up.
All right, thank you, Doug. I think they had tryouts this past weekend, or the first round of tryouts. I know there's no roster that's complete. I haven't seen that. So I think they're in the process of doing all that.
Wouldn't Greg Polk be the contact for that?
Well, I think he would know, yes. Yeah. Yes, I would hope so.
I'm sure you got his cell number.
I do. You want me to get him on to answer it?
Yeah, just to get him on. I'm sure
he's probably listening.
He's probably listening. And I'm surprised that they got Eli Gold on without his permission. I don't know if that happened. Maybe he's working in the background.
Without whose permission?
Greg Polk.
You don't think Greg had something to do with it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Probably because of Greg.
Well, I'm sure he had a lot to do with it.
Phone lines ringing.
Well, it's probably Greg Polk. By the way, I had a buddy text me on my text line and said, on the Traylon Burks discussion, and said, yeah, if I were you, I'd go on and pull the ripcord. So I think my buddy was he was off on Traylon Burks. He was done.
I think we got him.
Who?
Greg.
Pokey?
Pokey? Is that you, Pokey?
Yeah, I'm just driving around in circles listening to you guys.
Do you know anything about the Cats?
Well, yeah.
Well, we just had a question about the Cats, so we deferred to you.
I heard Doug. I listened. Yeah, we've signed, I think, 25. We'll bring 35 players to camp. That'll be the first week of April. I think we're in the 25 player range. The tryouts this Saturday, we had 103 show up to try out, which is amazing. And Coach Dean Kikino's, is a rock star in this world.
Did you have
And we're
anybody
lucky to
like
have
Mark
him.
Wahlberg show up, like Invincible, that you think is going to make it? Some dude that is a bar back, at a local pub.
No, but Mark Wahlberg can buy a roster spot this very second if he wants one.
Yeah, well, he could. He definitely could.
Oh yeah, well, he could play
So wait a
quarterback.
minute. Are you telling us that positions can be bought?
Wow.
Man, this is breaking
I'll
news.
get my money out.
Hit the breaking news sounder, Damon.
What can I get for $100?
Nashville Cats, you can buy a position.
Floor manager.
I don't think I'd sign up to be
Well,
quarterback.
Hey, I'm just telling you, I've looked at the Titans. They're not doing any good of paying people money. I figure people can pay us.
Wow.
Did he say we have any local players going on?
Yeah, we do. If you go to it's not an Ohio State thing. Somebody has NashvilleCats.com, and they didn't want to give it up. And so, guess what? We could have given you free tickets, and you said on the website no one goes to. Anyway, NashvilleCats.com. We signed. Hey, one of them. Austin P. Western Kentucky. Robert Lacey, the big offensive lineman at TSU. So yes, we're going to have a local strong. Yeah, I mean, here's the deal with that. If we sign local people, we don't have to put them in housing and pay for them to live here. So if our 33rd spot is living in Smyrna and right out there and coaching, middle school baseball now, he might find a spot.
You're looking local. I get it. That's smart.
One of them, Charlie Miller, was the 10,000-yard passer at Baylor. He went his last year to Liberty. He's thrown. That's a big sign. I mean, he's had some issues, concussion issues and everything. But in this league, if you're a quarterback, you don't get hit. The only thing you got to do is throw the ball. And so that's. But yeah. So just I was listening. Hey, you sound good. Don't Darren. Don't let Damon talk that much.
Greg, I knew you were going to say something like that. That's why I got my buzzer out right now.
The problem is, they have strategically, as you know, Pokey, they have placed him 25 feet away from me, so I can't do anything to stop him.
And Justin's not here to keep talking.
He's got control of everything. The phones, the board, the mic, cameras,
and
everything.
And your mic too, Greg.
Well, that's fine. Hey, I'll call. I'm listening. You know what I think of 560. That's family, and I'm always going to do what I can to make sure I can be a part of it. So
anyway, we'll throw out free plug tickets. Yeah. Throw out a number or website.
They're on sale. TheNashvilleCats.com. And our first week of training camp will be first week of April. Then after that, and April 27th. So yeah, and we're glad. We're already partnering with WNSR. With Patton. By the way, Patton and JB, the JB and the General Show. Good. That's the tip of the hat. That's exactly what the station should have done, and I'm glad they did. So.
Well, Pokey, anytime we have a Cats question, we'll send up the cat signal, and you call in. Okay.
It just depends where I've been the previous hour.
We'll make sure the cat signal's bright.
That's deep right there.
Pokey, thank you. We got loaded lines, so you're popular.
Tell everybody I said hi.
All right, it's Greg Pogue. Doug, you asked? There you go. Oh, he did some name dropping, too. All right, we do have more phone calls to get to. 615-844-5600. More of the McFarland Show. Next here on WNSR.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around. After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Your brain is an amazing thing. But as you get older, it naturally begins to change, causing a lack of sharpness or even trouble with recall. Thankfully, the breakthrough in Prevagen helps your brain and actually improves memory. The secret is an ingredient originally discovered in jellyfish. Based on a clinical study of subgroups of individuals who are cognitively normal or mildly impaired, Prevagen has been shown to improve memory. A Pharmacy Times national survey of pharmacists rated Prevagen the #1 pharmacist-recommended memory support brand for the 5th year in a row. You can find it in the vitamin aisle in stores everywhere without a prescription. Help your memory. Try Prevagen today. Prevagen. Healthier brain, better life. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Upside, the free app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back just for buying the gas I was going to buy anyway.
But is it a hassle to use?
No, it's super fast and easy, and I can cash out whenever I want.
That's a total no-brainer. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code LIFT for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's promo code LIFT. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code LIFT for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code LIFT.
Looking for something to take your mind off this traffic? How about a true story of instant success? Did you hear about the two friends who went grocery shopping in Ashland City and picked up everything on their list plus $75,000? Or the one where a truck driver made a last-minute stop off Interstate 40 and drove off with a cool $1 million? All their lives changed in an instant, and yours could too. So stop by your local retailer for your chance with instant games from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing, life-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
It's a Bill King Show.
We created a rule decades ago on the show. Weddings, things of that nature, during the playing portion, do not get consideration. No. Don't do that. Weddings are meant for the spring. They do not get consideration during the playing portion of the season. That's just the way we work it around here. That's the way we play it around here.
Weekday mornings beginning at 6 on Sports Radio 560 on 95.9 FM.
Titans fans, Preds fans, we have you covered. The McFarland Show.
615-844-5600 is the phone line and the text line. Don't forget, every day you can watch the show on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. And you can interact with the show on our YouTube page, WNSR Live, one word. Let's go to the phones. Pokey got them loaded up. Let's go to Nate in Columbia. Nate, what's up?
What's up, guys? I don't know if y'all seen this or not, but Darren, are you? How do you feel about Frank Saravalli?
I'm okay. I mean, I'm fine.
I'm not liking what I'm seeing.
Okay, where are you going with this?
This was about 3 hours ago.
Okay, then I haven't seen it 3 hours ago.
The Devils have apparently been interested in Saros.
Yeah. I thought that's been out there for a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah. But the extra part is the Preds say they're intent on keeping Saros as long as they're in the playoffs.
I hope that's not. Well, first of all, let's not panic because I know the two of us feel the same way. I hope that is just Barry posturing, the organization posturing, because remember, there's still a week and a half to go, and you're just trying to drive up. Maybe they don't like the price tag right now. Maybe they don't like what New Jersey's offering, and they're trying to push them higher, which I'm fine with. But after next Friday, it comes out that they did have a good package in front of them, and they just decided because they've been playing well, they're keeping Saros. I'll be very, very disappointed.
I'm not going to be disappointed. I'm going to be pissed because I don't understand it. I thought we were.
Well, let's not panic.
I thought the goal was to not. Obviously, the goal every year is to win the cup. But with the team that we thought we were going to have this year, I thought the goal was to not make the playoffs, basically.
I don't know. I don't believe that. I had several people over there that told me off the record that they feel like, hey, we're going to surprise everybody. So they were trying to low play it publicly, but inside the walls they weren't. They were more optimistic than they were letting on.
And I don't know. I wouldn't begin to know who those people are. I just want to know, were they around 16, 17? 16, 17. Those people you talked to?
No.
Okay. That makes me feel a little better then.
No, they weren't.
Because they wouldn't be shouting, just get in, anything can happen.
Look, we all know, Nate, we're not going to insult. This is not really the two of us talking. This is everybody else listening. Look, those things happen. We know, especially in hockey. It happened to the Blues.
Mm-hmm.
It happened to the Preds. It's happened to the Kings. It's happened to others. But if you go in with that every year thinking the Magic is going to, like, you're just going to be more disappointed than not, right? Like, we just know that's just not how it works every year. There's not some magical run every year in the NHL. Has it happened over time? Yes. But, thinking you're getting in every year and the magical run is coming, if that's your approach, it's a silly approach because you're going to be disappointed way, way more times than you'll be excited.
Yeah. And I am trying to hold off until at least the week of the trade deadline, but every stuff that I keep hearing just keeps bringing me down.
I would not freak out over that. That could be Barry posturing. It could be Barry trying to drive up the price, and I'm okay with all that. Look, this is what happens. This is what you do. That's what a smart GM should do. And so I'm not hitting any panic button that they're going to, they're going to stand pat or they're going to hold on to Saros because they're currently in the playoffs. People don't realize this team just got in the playoff picture or in the playoffs on this road trip. Okay. So it just happened. They're in the last spot. Okay. And just like that, a losing streak can have them right back on the outside looking in. So again, I'm going to err on it's just posturing. This is what you do. It's smart. It's a smart move by the general manager.
I just hope we're not going back to the Preds' old ways with David Poile. I know it's a different GM and everything, but Poile's still in the organization, and that kind of concerns me. So
I know.
But all right, guys, y'all have a great day. We'll see what happens tonight.
Thank you, Nate. You too. Yeah, tonight, 7:00, Bridgestone Arena. Preds and Senators. Let's go to Tony in Nolensville. Tony, what's up?
I'll be quick on this. First of all, something I was going to throw out there yesterday, and I know nobody cares, but I'm glad to see Bieniemy finally got a head coaching job out there at UCLA, a co-head coaching job. Maybe all the talk every time when head coaching jobs come up, and remember early in the year we always said his name comes up and there was a discussion about it. So hopefully we don't have to hear his name come up no more. Now, I do you were talking about left tackle. Today I think left tackle could be the answer on a draft pick. Tomorrow it might be a cornerback. I mean, I think that's going to change.
But by the way, hold on, Tony, real quick. He's the OC at UCLA.
He's the OC, but he's a they've got him as a co-head coach and the offensive coordinator. That's
co-head coach? How does that work?
I don't know, but I'm just telling you what they put on TV the other night.
Oh, I just saw OC. Okay.
So, I mean, I know what I read.
Okay. That's a weird. I don't think I've ever heard of.
You're seeing it with me. We're on the same page, right?
I saw OC. I don't even know how I've never even heard of a co-head coach.
But that's let me ask y'all something. And Damon, I want you to chime in on this. This is something I've looked at the last several. What's going on with Vanderbilt and Tennessee, and I'm being a Vandy fan, and I've heard this from one or two others, and sometimes I really wondered. I've never put this out there, and I don't know if anybody's ever thought about this. Does it mean more to the UT fan base and the sports teams, UT University, does it mean more to them not to lose to Vanderbilt than it does to Vanderbilt and their sports teams to beat UT? Interesting question. And I'm going to let y'all think about that.
We'll get that
and then
after
I'll
the
talk
break.
about it.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Tom.
See you guys.
Appreciate it. All right, we'll take our final break. Come back and wrap up Tuesday's edition of the McFarland Show. We'll do that next year on WNSR.
When was the last time you did something fun with family, friends, coworkers, and clients? What if I told you about a place under one roof that offers affordable entertainment for all ages? That's what you'll find at Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers in Donaldson, Hermitage, Tusculum, Hendersonville, and Murfreesboro, with bowling, games, food, drink, and entertainment for all ages. Enjoy an enhanced experience in Hendersonville or Murfreesboro, where they feature additional fun with bumper cars, laser tag, roller skating, and more. All locations are open 7 days a week, including holidays. Visit online at strikeandspare.com. Strike and Spare, where fun is bowling. Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel downtown is at the heart of Music City. Located within walking distance of the Country Music Hall of Fame, Bar Lines at the Omni is your downtown honky-tonk destination. Watch your team from any seat on their plentiful HD TVs and catch a live show on the Bar Lines stage featuring live music 7 days a week. Bar Lines has the ultimate Southern comfort food. Get started with classic fried green tomatoes or bourbon barbecue wings. Then it's on to the massive Smashville double stack or the world famous Bar Lines grinder. Oh, you've never heard of the Bar Lines grinder? 2 kinds of cheese, lettuce, Dijon, smoked turkey, smoked bacon, smoked ham. Now that's some smoke you want. Local brews and local spirits are on tap at Bar Lines. Take a seat on the patio outside and soak up the rhythm of Music City. Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel, 5th Avenue, downtown.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. That's 800-649-0142.
Buyandtow.com. Get cash for junk cars. Do you have a vehicle that's become a problem? You can get cash in your hand today and your vehicle hauled away. They'll buy your vehicle no matter the condition, in your driveway, at your mechanic shop, or even on the side of the road. You can call them at 615-480-6473 or visit buyandtow.com. Get cash in your hand today and your vehicle hauled away. 615-480-6473. Buyandtow.com. That's buyandtow.com.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Maybe it's a overreaction on Monday, but I'm going to, moving forward, for me, pump the brakes a little bit on Kyle Shanahan. He's got to do it to be included as he's one of the best coaches in the NFL. Now, right now, I would say Andy Reid is one of the best coaches in the NFL, and he's one of the best coaches of all time.
The McFarland Show with Darren and Justin on Nashville Sports Radio WLS.
You're listening to The McFarland Show live on WNSR Nashville Sports Radio.
Another fast-moving show today. Appreciate all the participation. By the way, just to clarify, Eric Bieniemy is the OC at UCLA and the associate
head coach.
Deshaun Foster, the former running back, pretty good running back, is the head coach of the Bruins. I remember him quite well. Spent all of his career in Carolina with the Panthers. So I think he was already on the staff. He is the head coach. All right, so Tony asked about Tennessee and the Vanderbilt rivalry.
Yes, does it mean more? And my answer is, I think Tennessee does not want to lose to Vanderbilt, but if they lose, it's not like major issue anymore because we beat them so many times, you know. But I think Vanderbilt it's gotten so that football, I know they love beating Tennessee in football. But I think in basketball, because they've won some games, it's sort of neutral, you know. It does mean a lot to Tennessee fans to not. We hate losing to Vanderbilt, football or basketball. So maybe it means more to Tennessee.
I think it's probably an insensitive answer, but if I'm just being honest, I just think that probably while it is a rivalry because it's in state, I just don't think Tennessee views Vanderbilt the same way as vice versa. Vanderbilt views Tennessee because it's just because of the results, right? It's hard to,
right?
When you've dominated a rivalry. So,
yeah, I mean, it means
I don't know if
more.
that makes.
It
I'm not
does.
trying to make Vanderbilt fans mad. I'm just saying and I don't know the answer. That's just my opinion. That's the way it feels
I
like.
think if Vanderbilt was a better basketball team like last year when they won, it would mean a lot this year. But since Tennessee beat them that time, and then when they came up there and they beat them, it sort of like took the glamour off of that last year, that whooping, because that's what happens. But football, I think, is more of an intense rivalry, because I was at this year's game, and there was some fighting and some pushing. I was actually in the stands when Vanderbilt was trying to intimidate Tennessee, and that was the wrong thing to do. So the hatred was there. I can't tell you some of the things that were said.
Oh, really?
Oh, man.
Well,
in the stands?
Don't get in trouble on your way out the door.
No.
To vacation.
I won't say it.
Eric did answer my question on the YouTube page, Marvin Harrison Jr. Look, I get that, but I don't see any scenario where he slips to 7.
No.
It seems pretty much like a foregone conclusion. He's going top 3, top 5 for sure, I would think. But, it is the draft. You just never know. This is where they start picking and prodding, and a lot of things get brought up, and guys aren't playing any games, and they move up and down draft boards. It's weird. But the combine is the start of it. And then you got workouts, and who knows? Somebody could have a bad workout, bad interview session. You just never know. So maybe Eric's right. Maybe he does slip to 7. All right, that's going to do it for our show today. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. Bill Keene will get things started at 6 a.m., JB and the General 9 to 11, and we'll be back at it starting at 2 o'clock. We'll see you then.
See you next week. Peace.
Just rubbing it in.
On air and online, Sports Radio WNSR, Brentwood, Nashville.
From now, there's a lot of work in Chicago covering the Bears, so he's going to stop by. We'll get his 2 cents on what's going on